Go behind the scenes of a bikini competition to see what one's really like IRL. It's not your imagination. Bikini competitions have seriously grown in popularity in recent years, according to NASM certified personal trainer, a contest prep and posing coach and national-level bikini competitor herself. But the spectacle is only part of what bikini competitions are actually about. Behind the sky-high, whether you're thinking about signing up for one yourself or you're just curious, here's everything you need to know about bikini competition training, what the show is like, how people train, whether it's safe for you, and what real bikini competitors have to say about them. Competitive. Within the bikini division has the smallest muscle requirement of the 5, and it generally has more participants than the others, says Irish. Those requirements, competitors. As a class, competitors in the bikini division are judged on a front pose, a back pose, and a 10-second individual posing routine, as well as their transitions and flow, all while wearing 5-inch clear heels. They're also judged based on their bodybuilding specific stage bikini, full hair and makeup, and a dark competition spray tan. Generally, what happens on stage is really the last step. The first is having once you've decided to do a competition, you can amp up strength training to focus on muscle groups that need more work developing. Individuals don't typically make these plans for themselves, though. As the contest, while plans vary based on the competitor, generally the most challenging part starts at 12 to 24 weeks before the show. This is also usually the stage where competitors ramp up cardio, often in a fasted state, and continue weight training. Sometimes they'll do both types of workouts a day, says Domenico, with rest days built in. Competitors also generally have to drink a gallon of water a day during this phase. This is partially, learning how to pose is also a big part of preparation. To make sure competitors feel confident on stage, daily posing practice usually starts about 8 to 12 weeks before the competition, she says. Here's how it adds up, according to Irish. The extreme nature of bikini competitions doesn't come without risks. Physically, calorie depletion is another concern. There are also mental health risks associated with training for bikini competitions. From a certified personal trainer, has also witnessed this firsthand. A former friend would flip between binge eating and training. This isn't to say that all bikini competitors have eating disorders. Borden and Domenico both stress for some, it's quite the opposite. The bottom line is it's important to know yourself, Domenico says. However, other bikini competitors have different feelings about their experiences. Brittany Lozer, as popular as bikini competitions are, they're not for everyone. But for people looking, of course, it's a big commitment. If that sounds up your alley, awesome. Training and compete.
Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up